It is truly a pity to ruthlessly discard the happiness you can enjoy right now for the sake of a future happiness that may never arrive. While preparing for the future is a noble endeavor, it is not the correct answer to completely ignore your current well-being and postpone everything for a later date. This does not mean you should squander everything on current pleasures, but rather that you should put sincerity into the small joys given to you today and savor their value. As the proverb says, that only those who have eaten meat know its true taste. Happiness is also something that can only be fully enjoyed by those who have practiced experiencing it in their daily lives. Happiness is not a finished product that suddenly falls from the sky one day, but is more like a sense that is refined bit by bit through everyday experiences. If you use your current youth and energy solely as collateral for the future and leave your present self in a barren state, you may find yourself having forgotten how to even feel happy by the time you reach your desired goal. The warning that a novice shaman can kill a person also applies to the realm of happiness. Following the standards of happiness defined by others, without knowing what makes you joyful or what moments bring you peace, will likely lead to a waste of precious time and great disappointment. A future met with poor skills in handling happiness can never be sweet, and sometimes unprepared. Abundance can even turn into a poison. Putting sincerity into the air and time given to you right now, and the small conversations you share with people around you, is by no means a luxury. Rather, it is the minimum breathing hole required for those who are most fiercely preparing for the future, and a powerful driving force that keeps life going. You must escape the foolishness of killing your present self for a grand achievement in the future. You must use the energy of your current youth to look after yourself and give yourself some room to breathe. Creating a small breathing hole in a stifling daily routine is ultimately a wise choice for going further. You must remember that only when your heart values present happiness can the coming future happiness truly become yours. Only those who have tasted it can discuss its flavor, and only those who have enjoyed it can preserve its value. Put all your heart and sincerity into the small satisfaction you feel at this moment. That is the most certain and clever way to prepare for tomorrow. In a society where sacrificing the present for the future is taken for granted, we often live while missing out on the most precious things. The attitude of treating the certain joy in your hands today lightly, while chasing the mirage of tomorrow's success, eventually makes your entire life empty. Preparing for the future is certainly valuable, but it cannot be a justifiable reason to dry up your current youth and energy. Many people vow to be happy once they have more leeway later, but few people actually know how to enjoy happiness when that time finally comes. This is because, as mentioned before, happiness is a type of skill that only those who have experienced it know the taste of and can properly enjoy. The advice to put sincerity into current happiness does not mean indulgence or laziness. Rather, it is wise counsel to clearly recognize the value of this moment where you are standing, and to open a space for yourself to breathe. Just as a machine that runs without rest will eventually overheat and stop, the human soul will also quickly grow weary and collapse without a proper breathing. Blindly designing your future and suppressing your present according to the speed of others is a dangerous gamble, no different from a novice shaman killing a person. If you blindly follow the success formulas of others without your own rhythm and standards, you will end up facing the failure of forgetting what you are even working so hard for. Current youth is a limited resource that will never return, and using that energy only to secure an uncertain future is a truly foolish investment. You must not forget that the small feelings of satisfaction and achievement you feel today accumulate to become solid inner muscles, which in turn become the strength to live through tomorrow. As much as you dream of grand future happiness, you must put your heart into the small sincerities that make you smile right now. Whether it is a short conversation with a friend, the warm sunlight through a window, or a cool glass of water at the end of a hard day. You need an attitude of fully feeling and appreciating that moment. A future met without the accumulation of these trivial experiences is merely an empty shell. You must coolly ask yourself whether the future, gained by sacrificing the present, can truly compensate you fully. True wisdom comes from the balance of preparing for the future, while simultaneously caring for your present self. Allowing yourself a small breathing hole in a stifling daily routine is not something to feel guilty about, but a necessary process for continuing life more richly and longer. Check where your energy is flowing at this moment. You must look back to see if your precious current youth is being unconditionally confiscated in the name of the future. You must live today sincerely, but that sincerity must always include a dedication to your own happiness. Happiness is not a result waiting at some point in the future, but a gem you must find on the path you are walking right now. Only those who walk while picking up those gems, one by one, can become true winners at the destination they eventually reach. Focus on the small happiness that will open your airway right now. That will be the most powerful weapon to protect your life and make your future shine even brighter. Ultimately, the completion of life is determined not by some grand future point, but by the sum of our attitudes in this very moment. Many people silently endure today's deficiency for tomorrow's stability, but it is highly likely that the happiness they so desperately wanted is not waiting for them at their destination. This is because happiness is not a reward given as a result of achievement, but a high-level skill that must be learned through daily practice. Like the saying that only those who have eaten meat know how to eat it. Only those who have fully enjoyed even small joys can handle the happiness of a grand success without being overwhelmed, and digest that joy as their own. The act of pouring energy only into savings for the future and abusing your current self is a foolish deed, no different from a novice shaman killing a person. Abundance met without knowing how to enjoy. Happiness only drives a person into greater emptiness and anxiety. If you blindly follow the path of success that others talk about, you run a high risk of losing your own color and taste, leaving only an empty shell of a life. What we need right now is not an unconditional sprint toward the future, but the act of pausing for a moment to put sincerity into our current happiness. Putting in sincerity does not mean spending money extravagantly or wasting time. It means cherishing and loving even a single piece of short rest given to you, and existing fully as yourself in that moment. Youth and energy do not become future assets just because you unconditionally save them. That energy only returns as a greater force when it is properly used and circulated. Opening a breathing hole for yourself in a stifling daily routine is not evidence of laziness, but rather the wisest strategy for completing the long race of life. Only when the heart that prepares for the future and the heart that enjoys the present are in harmony can we truly feel alive. Do not commit the folly of ignoring today's moonlight while waiting for tomorrow's sun. Put all your sincerity into the small excitement and peace you feel at this moment. Those trivial sincerities will gather to become the pillars firmly support your life. Future happiness is uncertain, but today's happiness is in your hands right now. You must stop gambling everything on the uncertain while throwing away the certain. When you fully enjoy the present and design your future based on the sense of happiness learned within it, your life will finally approach completion. Break free from the obsession that is choking you and take a deep breath, even if only for a moment. The fresh air coming through that breathing hole will awaken your blurred senses. Happiness also requires practice, and the time for that practice is right now. Do not be stingy with your present happiness so that your future self can be grateful to your current self. You deserve to be sufficiently happy at this moment, and you must not forget that the process of enjoying that happiness is itself already the most excellent preparation for the future. Do not be swayed by the gaze of others or the speed set by society, but find the taste of happiness that only you can feel and cultivate it with all your heart. That is the way to become the true master of your life without becoming a novice shaman. Fill your today not just as a time to endure, but as a time to pour sincerity into your soul. The door to the future will only open joyfully to those who have lived today faithfully and happily. I hope you will sincerely create a small breathing hole for yourself right now so that your youth and energy do not disappear while being held hostage by the future. That will be the most noble choice to protect your life.